A Las Vegas company is trying to send temporary homes to those who lost their homes in the deadly Maui wildfires.
Housing company Boxable wants to donate nearly 250 small units, but as Fox 5's Alexis Fernandez tells us, the company is looking for partnerships to cover the cost of shipping them to the island.
That's right, John and Jacqueline. The deadly Maui wildfires left thousands of survivors without a permanent place to live. Boxable says it could provide a temporary solution. Housing company Boxable started building tiny homes several years ago to help solve the global housing shortage in the United States.
It's time and money. So the first thing is time, so we can ship today. Then we need to provide shelter and safety. Safety is a big concern in a natural disaster.
Now they want to help survivors of the Maui wildfire.
We've agreed internally that we would divert up to 250 of our homes to Maui to give, shelter and sustenance. In one Boxable, you could get 4 individuals, so 250 homes could potentially house 1,000 people immediately.
CEO Paola Terramani says they are currently talking to local leaders and FEMA contractors to figure out how to get these nearly 400-square-foot homes over to Maui.
The odds of us delivering houses to Maui are very, very high. We'd just like to do it sooner than later. We cannot afford to give homes away for free, obviously, but the homes are incredibly reasonably priced, and we have to add in some shipping.
He says they can be both a temporary fix and long-term investment.
Unpacked, provide that safety and shelter. When the disaster has passed, they can be repurposed into anything from mid-level apartments, townhomes, single-family homes, schoolhouses, anything really. It's a building system. Each of these tiny homes starts at $50,000. Boxable is currently trying to fundraise about $10 million. So far, they've raised about $60,000. Terramani also said he is working with the County of Maui and has also reached out to Governor Lombardo for help to come up with a plan and potential funding sources.